When we think of Hollywood, we picture the usual fantasy: massive mansions perched on the hills, exotic cars screaming down Sunset Boulevard, and celebrities dripping in designer brands. But what if I told you that some of the biggest black stars in the industry, actors with Oscars, Emmys, blockbuster franchises, and global fame, actually choose to live the complete opposite of the Hollywood dream? Instead of flashy lifestyles, they choose peace. Instead of showing off, they choose privacy. And instead of spending money to look rich, they invest in purpose, community, family, and long-term freedom. Today, we're counting down 10 black actors who built massive Hollywood careers, yet lives surprisingly modest, grounded, and deeply intentional lives. Their choices might just change the way you think about success. Before we dive in, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because these stories are the kind of inspiration everyone needs. Dave Chappelle, the man who walked away. From $50 million, Dave Chappelle might be the only person in Hollywood who turned down $50 million and came out happier, healthier, and more respected because of it. When he walked away from his Comedy Central deal in 2005, people called him crazy. But Dave knew something most celebrities don't. What's the point of being rich if you lose your peace, your privacy, and your sanity? Today, instead of living in Beverly Hills, Dave lives on a quiet 65-acre farm in Yellow Springs, Ohio, a town with fewer than 4,000 people. No paparazzi, no Hollywood drama, just family, neighbors who treat him like a regular guy, and a small-town coffee shop where he often hangs out. He dresses simply, drives normal cars, and avoids the flashy lifestyle that Hollywood expects. For Dave, true wealth isn't luxury, it's freedom. The freedom to control his time, protect his creativity, and live life on his own terms. So here's the big question for you. If you had $50 million on the table, would you walk away to protect your peace of mind like Dave did? Or would you take the money and face the pressure? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This one always sparks debate. Tiffany Haddish, the millionaire who still shops at the dollar store? Tiffany Haddish's rise is the kind of story Hollywood usually hides. Before she was a comedy superstar, she was homeless, living out of her car, and scraping by one day at a time. Those years taught her the kind of financial discipline money can't buy. So when fame finally hit, Tiffany didn't sprint toward the stereotypical Hollywood lifestyle. She stayed in the same apartment, lived simply, and refused to let success erase her past. What shocked people most was her attitude toward spending. When she wore her $4,000 Alexander McQueen dress to multiple events, the industry acted like she'd committed a crime. But Tiffany simply asked, "Why would I wear something once if I paid for it?" It was practical, honest, and very un-Hollywood. She still shops at discount stores, drives modest cars, and openly talks about saving and budgeting. Beyond the frugality, Tiffany is incredibly generous, supporting family, donating to causes, and lifting others up. Tyler Perry. How is a billionaire? This low-key. Tyler Perry shouldn't be a billionaire, at least not by Hollywood's usual rules. He didn't come from privilege, didn't inherit connections, and didn't rise through studio networks. He was homeless, writing plays in his car, grinding through failure after failure. That background shaped everything about how he uses and respects money today. Even as a billionaire, Tyler lives far more modestly than people expect. Yes, he owns property, but he doesn't flaunt wealth. He doesn't drown social media in designer fits or million-dollar toys. Instead, he's focused on creating opportunities, building his massive studio, employing thousands, and investing in Black talent. And when it comes to generosity, Tyler might be unmatched. He's bought groceries for entire stores, paid strangers' bills, donated millions, and done most of it quietly. While other billionaires flex, Tyler sees wealth as a responsibility, not a spectacle. Here's a question that always sparks arguments. Is Tyler Perry the right model for modern billionaires, or should billionaires be expected to live even simpler? Drop your thoughts. Whoopi Goldberg. Is comfort more important than celebrity image? Whoopi Goldberg is an EGOT winner, one of the most decorated entertainers in modern history. Yet if you passed her on the street, you might not even know she's wealthy. She doesn't wear flashy clothes, doesn't chase trends, and isn't interested in Hollywood approval. On The View, she often appears in oversized sweaters, comfy shoes, and outfits that scream real person, not celebrity. Whoopi grew up in poverty, raised in a New York housing project, struggling to make ends meet. Those roots taught her not to worship material possessions. Even after becoming a multimillionaire, she rejected the idea that success requires expensive things. She values comfort, practicality, and authenticity. No designer labels needed. She also speaks openly about financial responsibility, saving, avoiding waste, and not pretending to live above your means. In an industry obsessed with image, Whoopi's honesty feels almost rebellious. Denzel Washington. Is he the last true gentleman in Hollywood? Denzel Washington is one of the greatest actors alive. Multiple Oscars, legendary roles, and global respect. Yet his lifestyle is shockingly quiet compared to other A-list stars. There are no crazy mansions, no wild parties, no brand new supercars in his driveway. Instead, Denzel lives a grounded, family-centered life far removed from the Hollywood spotlight. He's been married to the same woman, Pauletta, since 1983, nearly unheard of in the industry. Their focus? Faith, family, and stability. Denzel avoids the celebrity scene unless he's promoting a project or lifting up others. He dresses simply, drives normal cars, and has been spotted shopping like a regular person. Fame never changed his values. He's also known for extraordinary generosity, giving to schools, churches, and programs that support underprivileged youth. But here's the conversation starter. Is Denzel Washington's modest lifestyle a sign of discipline and values, or do we expect too much perfection from celebrities when it comes to staying humble? Share your perspective. Lupita Nyong'o, the Oscar winner who still takes public transportation. Lupita Nyong'o became an instant global icon after winning an Oscar for her very first film role. She wears couture on red carpets, represents luxury brands, and stars in major blockbusters like Black Panther, yet her everyday life looks nothing like a typical Hollywood star. Lupita has maintained a modest apartment in Brooklyn for years, long after becoming famous. She's been seen taking public transit, shopping at regular stores, and living like any young woman navigating New York City. Her Kenyan upbringing plays a huge role in her perspective. Lupita values family, culture, and staying connected to her roots. She returns home often, supports local communities, and uses her platform to advocate for education, women's rights, and wildlife protection. Money isn't her definition of success. Impact is. So here's the big debate. Is Lupita proof that fame doesn't have to change you? Or do audiences underestimate how grounding strong cultural roots can be? Let's hear your thoughts. Idris Elba. Can a global superstar really stay this down to earth? Idris Elba has the resume of a Hollywood powerhouse. Blockbusters, award-winning performances, DJ gigs, global recognition, and even ongoing rumors about being the next James Bond. Yet he continues to operate with the mindset of someone who knows exactly where he came from. Idris grew up in a working-class London neighborhood, the son of African immigrants. Before fame, he fixed tires, DJ'd parties, and even sold weed to make ends meet. Today, despite wealth and fame, Idris lives modestly. No excessive spending, no massive mansions splashed all over social media. He still visits his old neighborhood, stays close to childhood friends, and invests wisely to protect his long-term financial security. He's outspoken about financial responsibility and about building generational wealth, not Hollywood illusions. He also gives back, especially to communities in Africa, through charity work and awareness campaigns. Octavia Spencer, the Oscar winner who still clips coupons. Octavia Spencer didn't become a household name until her 40s, and that late breakthrough shaped her entire outlook on fame and money. Before The Help made her an Oscar winner, she spent decades grinding through small roles, low-paying jobs, and financial uncertainty. So even after hitting the A-list, Octavia refused to adopt the typical Hollywood lifestyle. She admits she still clips coupons. She still hunts for deals. She still shops at Target without shame. For an Oscar winner, that level of honesty about money is almost unheard of. Even when she upgraded her home, she chose comfort over luxury. No 20-car garage or private nightclub-style basement. Just a warm, functional place to live. On red carpets, she looks glamorous, but she often rents gowns instead of buying them. Practical, smart, real. So here's the debate for you. Does Octavia's frugal lifestyle make her more relatable? Or does it challenge what fans expect from celebrities? Comment below. People always split on this one. Michael B. Jordan, a multi-millionaire who still lives with his parents. Michael B. Jordan is one of Hollywood's most bankable stars. Creed, Black Panther, blockbuster paychecks, fashion covers, and global fame. Yet in the middle of all that success, he made a decision nobody saw coming. He bought a house and moved in with his parents. Instead of living the bachelor Hollywood lifestyle, he chose family. He chose gratitude. He chose to repay the people who supported his dream long before movie studios cared. That's not weakness. It's emotional intelligence. Financially, Michael plays the long game. He invests in companies, startups, and production ventures instead of splurging on supercars or mansions. He focuses on generational wealth, not short-term flash. And like the other stars on this list, he's deeply committed to giving back, especially to Black youth and underserved communities. Viola Davis. Can extreme poverty create extreme purpose? Viola Davis isn't just respected, she's revered. An Oscar, Emmy, and Tony winner who climbed out of brutal childhood poverty marked by hunger, rats, and homelessness. Those early struggles didn't fade with fame. They fuel her. Even after achieving historic success, Viola chooses simplicity. No flashy mansions plastered on Instagram. No designer obsession. She focuses on her craft, her daughter, and her purpose. She's careful with money. Not because she's cheap, but because she knows what it's like to have none. Viola also fights for fair pay in Hollywood, especially for Black actresses who are systematically undervalued. And she's extremely generous, donating to anti-hunger programs and speaking passionately about poverty because she lived it, not studied it. So here's the conversation starter. Does surviving hardship create stronger, more grounded celebrities? Or does Hollywood eventually reshape everyone? Drop your thoughts. This debate gets deep. At the end of the day, these actors remind us of something Hollywood often forgets. Success isn't measured by mansions, cars, or designer labels. It's measured by peace, purpose, and staying true to who you are. From Dave Chappelle, walking away from $50 million to Tiffany Haddish, re-wearing her dresses, and Viola Davis turning childhood struggle into strength, each story proves the same truth. Wealth doesn't define identity. Character does. Their lives challenge the idea that fame must come with extravagance. Instead, they show that real power comes from choosing what matters: family, community, privacy, integrity, and long-term stability. Now I want to hear from you. Which celebrity surprised you the most, and whose lifestyle do you respect the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss more inspiring stories like this.